Eldridge, a village shrouded in legend. Nestled deep within the Carpathian Mountains, it stood silent, a sentinel against time. Its inhabitants whispered tales, passed down through generations. Tales of a blood moon, tales of a creature of the night, a vampire. The village was ancient, its buildings hunched and weathered. Cobblestone streets snaked through its heart, leading to the forest's edge. The forest was a living entity, dark and foreboding. It held the secrets of Eldridge, secrets best left undisturbed. For centuries, the legend of the vampire had haunted Eldridge. It was said that under the blood moon, the creature walked again, its thirst unquenchable, its hunger insatiable. The elders warned the young, their voices raspy with age and fear. Never venture into the woods during the blood moon, they would say, their eyes filled with ancient wisdom. For the master of the manor still walks, and he hungers. A group of friends, young and bold, scoffed at the legends. They were drawn to the mystery, their curiosity piqued by the whispers. They were Ethan, the pragmatic one, Anya, the adventurous soul, and Lucian, the skeptic, always challenging the unknown. The night of the blood moon arrived, casting an eerie red glow over Eldridge. A palpable tension filled the air as the villagers shuttered their windows. Fear, a tangible presence, but not the friends. They gathered at the edge of the village, their faces illuminated by the crimson moon. Ethan checked his backpack, ensuring their supplies were secure. Anya's eyes sparkled with excitement, her hand resting on a silver crucifix. Lucian, ever the cynic, scoffed.
It's just a story, a way to scare children.
Their laughter echoed in the stillness, a jarring sound against the backdrop of the eerie silence. They didn't know it then, but their laughter would soon be silenced by the chilling reality that awaited them. The forest welcomed them with an unnatural silence. The air grew heavy, laden with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The trees, gnarled and ancient, seemed to reach out with skeletal branches, their shadows twisting and contorting in the blood-red light. Anya led the way, her flashlight cutting a shaky beam through the darkness. The path, barely visible, wound its way deeper into the heart of the forest. With each step, the outside world felt further away, swallowed by the oppressive presence of the woods. As they ventured deeper, the silence was broken by the rustling of leaves, the snapping of twigs. Anya froze, her breath catching in her throat.
Did you hear that?
She whispered, her voice barely audible. Lucian, ever the skeptic, dismissed her concern.
It's just an animal.
He said, but his voice lacked its usual confidence. Even he couldn't deny the growing sense of unease that permeated the air. They stumbled upon it as if the forest itself had revealed it to them. A mansion, imposing and desolate, stood at the end of a path overgrown with weeds. Its silhouette, stark against the blood moon, seemed to claw at the sky, a monument to a forgotten era. The mansion's windows were dark, hollow eyes staring back at them. The once grand facade was now crumbling, consumed by ivy and time. A shiver ran down Ethan's spine as he stared at the building. A sense of foreboding washing over him. Anya, her initial fear replaced by a morbid curiosity, stepped forward.
This must be the manor the villagers spoke of.
She whispered, her voice a mixture of awe and apprehension. Lucian, his skepticism wavering, ran a hand through his hair.
Let's just take a look and go,
he said, his voice betraying a hint of nervousness. As they approached the mansion, the heavy oak door creaked open as if inviting them in. The sound echoed through the unnatural stillness, a silent dare to cross the threshold and enter the domain of shadows. The air inside the mansion was stale, thick with the scent of dust and decay. Cobwebs draped the once ornate furniture, and the silence was deafening. They stepped cautiously, their footsteps echoing in the vast emptiness.
Look at these portraits. They seem to be watching us.
Portraits of men and women stared back, their eyes seeming to follow their every move. Each face bore a striking resemblance to the next, their features aristocratic, yet etched with an unsettling coldness.
Generations, they all look so similar.
As they moved from room to room, the mansion seemed to press in on them, its silence a living presence. The weight of the past, of the secrets held within the mansion's walls, was almost tangible.
The chandelier, it looks like it could fall any moment.
In the grand ballroom, a single chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, its crystals dull and lifeless. Anya imagined a time when music filled the air, when laughter echoed through the halls. Now only silence remained, a heavy silence that spoke volumes. A floorboard creaked above them, the sound sharp and sudden in the stillness. The friends froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. Someone, or something, was watching them.
Let's go. This place, it doesn't feel right.
As they turned to leave, a figure emerged from the shadows at the end of the hallway. Tall and gaunt, it moved with an unnatural grace, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. The vampire stood motionless, its gaze fixed on them. Its skin was as pale as death, stretched taut over sharp cheekbones. Its lips, pulled back in a cruel smile, revealed elongated fangs that glinted in the dim light.
Oh no, the legends, they were true.
Fear, primal and instinctive, surged through them. They were trapped, mice caught in the gaze of a predator. The master of the manor had returned. Panic threatened to consume them, but Ethan, forcing himself to remain calm, guided his friends towards a heavy wooden door at the end of the hallway.
It's our only chance.
They stumbled into the room, the door slamming shut behind them with a resounding boom. The vampire's enraged growl echoed through the mansion, sending shivers down their spines. The room was surprisingly luxurious, a stark contrast to the rest of the dilapidated mansion. A fireplace crackled merrily, casting flickering shadows on the walls adorned with tapestries depicting scenes of hunts and feasts. A massive four-poster bed dominated the room, its velvet curtains drawn.
I can't shake the feeling that someone or something is in here with us.
Ethan, his eyes scanning the room, noticed a glint of metal in the corner. A silver letter opener lay discarded on a writing desk, its surface tarnished with age. It was their only hope. As the vampire pounded on the door, Ethan lunged for the letter opener, his fingers closing around the cool metal.
Take it, it's silver. It might buy us some time.
Anya hesitated, her eyes wide with fear.
What about you?
She whispered, her voice trembling.
I'll distract him. Just go, find help.
With a surge of adrenaline, Ethan threw open the chamber door, drawing the vampire's attention. The creature turned, its eyes blazing with fury.
You dare defy me? You are nothing but trespassers in my domain.
Ethan stood his ground, the silver letter opener clutched tightly in his hand.
Your curse ends tonight.
He said, his voice surprisingly steady. Anya and Lucian seized the opportunity. They slipped past the distracted vampire and raced out of the chamber, the sound of their pounding footsteps echoing through the silent mansion. They ran through the mansion, their lungs burning, their hearts pounding against their ribs. The vampire's enraged roars echoed behind them, spurring them onward. They dodged cobwebs, their feet slipping on the dusty floor as they navigated the labyrinthine corridors. The mansion seemed to twist and turn, its darkness closing in around them like a suffocating blanket. Ahead they saw a faint glimmer of light, a beacon of hope in the oppressive darkness. With renewed determination, they surged forward, their legs screaming in protest. They burst through the front doors of the mansion and into the cool night air, the blood moon casting long, eerie shadows across the overgrown lawn. Behind them, the mansion loomed, its windows dark and lifeless. The vampire's enraged roar echoed one last time, a final promise of vengeance. They didn't stop running until they reached the relative safety of the forest's edge. Collapsing onto the soft earth, they gasped for breath, their bodies trembling with exhaustion and fear. Anya turned back to look at the mansion, its silhouette stark against the blood moon.
Ethan!
She whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Lucian placed a comforting hand on her shoulder.
He bought us time. He wouldn't want us to grieve.
As the first rays of dawn pierced through the darkness, they knew they could not return for Ethan. The mansion, shrouded in shadow and silence, had claimed him as its own. They made their way back to Eldridge, their clothes torn, their faces etched with the horrors they had witnessed. They carried with them the weight of Ethan's sacrifice, the knowledge that the master of the manor had claimed another victim. The villagers listened to their tale with a mixture of horror and grim acceptance. They had known the risks, had warned them of the dangers lurking within the forest. The legend of the vampire was now more than just a story. A cautionary tale whispered around crackling fires. It was a chilling reality, a constant reminder of the darkness that lay at the heart of their village. Life in Eldridge resumed its normal rhythm. But a shadow hung over the village, a palpable sense of unease. The forest, once a source of sustenance and solace, was now a place of fear, a testament to the ancient curse that plagued their land. And as each blood moon rose, casting its eerie red glow over Eldridge, the villagers would remember the tale of the friends who dared to confront the darkness and the price one of them paid for their courage. The master of the manor still walked, his thirst unquenched, his hunger insatiable, and the curse of Eldridge lived on,